end. It's when you come to an agreement on money, case is closed, we're going to send the check. That's mediation. At 9 o'clock, we get a call from our lawyer telling us that the very people that we're supposed to be going up against in mediation, Progressive Insurance, aren't even showing up. It's going to be freaking Allstate, our insurance. We're going for the $20,000 liability when we weren't even supposed to be. We didn't even know we were ever at all going up against Allstate, our own insurance for that shit. We spent 5 months planning and prepping to go up against Progressive, the person who hit my wife's insurance. So we find this shit out 30 minutes before mediation. Our lawyer didn't tell us at all in the 5 months leading up to it. So not only do we get blindsided, during the mediation, the fucking lawyer on the other end, who just picked the case up from the other person who had it, because it got dropped and picked up by someone else, just proceeds to be a bitch the whole time and literally says that they're not paying us anything until Progressive has to pay. So after all that, 2 years of waiting and 5 months to yesterday, we find out they gave us a $200 take it or leave it deal from our own insurance. People we weren't even supposed to be in mediation against yesterday said it's $200, take it or leave it, because we're not paying anything until we see what Progressive has to pay. So now we have to wait 45 to 60 days to try to get back in a room with Progressive, the people we were actually supposed to be against yesterday. Now we've got to wait another 2 months to 3 months after just waiting 5 fucking months just to get to yesterday, what was supposed to be and promised to be by our lawyer, the end.
Yeah, that's fucking frustrating, dude.
Very frustrating.
Yeah, that shit, man. That shit's so annoying.
I was gonna punch my lawyer in the face. That nigga's lucky he was on a Zoom call. We were on a Zoom call because I'm just as mad at him, because I'm like, bro, you couldn't warn us. You didn't tell us. His assistant was supposed to reach out and talk to my wife 2 weeks ago. Do you know when she actually called my wife? The day before yesterday. And it wasn't even about that. She didn't even mention to her anything about Allstate the day before yesterday. She just asked, hey, has anything changed? And, have you gone to another doctor since we last spoke? No, but I've been waiting for you to call me since 2 weeks ago. Oh, well, sorry, we've done this and that and this. My lawyer's lucky I need him. He fucks me again in 45, 6 days. He's fired.
Of course they would do some shit like that.
Pissed me off, man. Ruined our whole fucking day, bro.
I bet. I bet.
All that time, bro.
That shit's so fucking mentally draining and shit,
Especially for my wife, who's been on the 25-pound weight restriction for 2 years. She can't work most jobs because they have a physical demand of 25 pounds. So that's half the reason we have to work for ourselves, or that she works for herself along with me, because she can't do it.
Yeah.
For fear of getting caught by their side and sending their PIs in, trying to fucking record her at a goddamn grocery store lifting a 30-pack of water into a fucking cart.
Yeah, anything just not to pay.
Yeah.
All right, child, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Big yeet.
Wait, hold on real quick. I just want to be sure before I fucking do an entire show again and the audio's all fucked up. Tommy and Toxic, give me a mic check.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
Something happened to the sound yesterday?
No, the other day I did an episode with, I think it was Tommy and Toxic, and the entire time no one can hear him. So we did the entire episode with just my voice.
Yeah, that wasn't the other day. That was like a couple weeks ago, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so I remember you telling me about that one. Yeah, it was just your voice the whole time. You had to basically scrap the shit. That sucks. Why am I hearing so much fucking echo in my own headphones?
All right, we're good, y'all.
I hear it too.
I was listening to the live on my phone, so I just to make sure that that's probably what you guys were hearing. But let's do this.
Actually, like in my headphones, I hear my own echo from the room back in my headphones. But alrighty.
What is up, everyone? Back again for another prediction episode, because there's 10 million shows this week. So today we're going to be going WWE's Women's PLE Evolution. That's going to take place July 13th, this Sunday. And We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches for this PLE. Not your average 5-match PLE. We got 7 matches, and we're going to go over them, predict them, see if we can guess the winners, some title changes, maybe some returns. I don't know. We'll see where this prediction takes us. And to help me, the Snug crew is here. Everyone is here with us. Mr. Blood is back. Toxic is here, and Tommy. What's up, fellas? Welcome back. How y'all doing tonight?
Biggie.
Doing pretty good, man. Busy ass weekend for freaking wrestling. I'll tell you what.
Feeling good, man. Let's do this.
All right, y'all. Let's get started. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World Champion. And Rhea Ripley is still 0-3 versus Io Sky. Rhea Ripley has not been able to defeat Io Sky in singles matches. This is for the title. Is this the big one? Is this where Rhea finally gets her title back? Who do you guys think is going to win this one?
This one is going to be interesting in the sense of it's not going to be interesting. We've now seen this match so many times. We needed this match at Mania. This is the match that should have been at Mania without Bianca Belair. Period, point blank. It's hard for me to care about this match as much as I want to, with the two women involved especially, because this match should have happened ages ago. This rematch should have happened literally almost 3 months ago at this point, and it should have been over and done with there. Throwing together the blow-off match to their feud here, last ass minute booked just 2 weeks before the pay-per-view, only because you've already told all the other story you can tell with it fucking 3 months ago, and now it's here, is absolutely fucking annoying to me. So as far as it's concerned, I hope Rhea wins just so we can say, okay, Rhea finally beat Io, let's move the fuck on, and then we get the SummerSlam and figure out who the hell she's going to be versing at SummerSlam, because clearly Jade is going to be going up against Tiffany Stratton most likely, because I doubt Trish is winning. So I don't know who the hell you put in front of Rhea Ripley at this point. Hopefully it's not Nikki Bella.
Yeah, hopefully it's not Nikki Bella. But I got Rhea on this, mainly because we touched up on this like a few weeks ago, I think. Io hasn't defended since Mania. It's the same thing with Dom. Dom hasn't defended since Money in the Bank. Which, yes, he's injured right now, but that's not the point. The point is, if you're not going to defend it, why do you have it? So, yeah, I have Rhea, and I'm excited to see who she goes up against at SummerSlam, because her last SummerSlam match was an absolute shit show.
The three of us are in agreement. I'm also going Rhea, Bloody, Ripley. As Blood said, this is the match we should have gotten at WrestleMania. But instead, Triple H decided to go, hey, Bianca Belair, you are now going to go into the chamber and you are going to win the chamber, which screwed up this entire thing. I am seriously hoping that this is finally the end of it and Rhea Bloody Ripley finally beats Io Sky.
I wouldn't even be mad if Io Sky wins and beats Rhea Ripley and we get a 4-0 situation here with Io Sky and Rhea. I'm starting to feel like how I feel with Charlotte Flair when it comes to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has had so many championship title runs, I feel like, and I'm not really too excited to see another one from Rhea Ripley. Not that I don't like Rhea Ripley. Obviously, she's the top star in the women's division right now. But for that same reason, and I think it'd just be fun just to piss people off, just to see Io Sky win it again and hold it longer. So I wouldn't be mad if that happened, but I think it does make more sense for Rhea Ripley in a business sense for her to win it. But me personally, I prefer to see Io Sky win it. All right, y'all, from one women's championship to the other one from SmackDown, the WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus pretty much She just got handpicked by Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton was given the option to select anyone, and they went with the legend Trish Stratus. She kind of just showed up after being gone for months. She had a tag team match with, I believe it was Becky Lynch. No, it was a cage match. And I don't think we've seen Trish Stratus since then, but she's back for Evolution, and she gets a title shot. Who do you guys got for this one?
Well, real quick, we did have Trish Stratus tag with Tiffany Stratton at some point earlier this year. Her match prior to that was that cage match with Becky, which I've said before. Again, probably my favorite steel cage match between two women. That match is so goated, in my opinion. Go back and watch it. Those girls just destroyed each other. But as far as it's concerned with this match, I find it, again, because all of this is so haphazardly booked, it's hard for me to care about any of these matches because there's almost no story for most of these matches. Trish Stratus, love to see her. Love to have her here. Always great to see a legend. But why do you get a fucking title shot when there's so many other women on that roster that have been putting in the work for months and months and months and years since the last time we saw you in the singles division against Becky Lynch over 2 years ago? Why do you get to skip the line? Sure, you were a trailblazer in the industry, but so was Alundra Blaze. So was Molly Holly. But I don't see Molly Holly walking her ass out from the freaking gorilla position in the producer's area, coming down and challenging Tiffany Stratton to a title match because she was a champion before you were even in the industry. So as far as it's concerned, I'm sure it'll be a decent match. I hope Trish Stratus doesn't have a crap ton of ring rust because to me, she's really going to be the one to guide Tiffany through this match. Because I'm sorry, Tiffany ain't it for me. I'm really ready for Tiffany to just drop that title at SummerSlam, but I don't think she's dropping it here at Evolution. I do believe Trish Stratus loses. Tiffany Stratton wins, goes on to SummerSlam versus Jade Cargill in what's going to hopefully not be a train wreck of a match, and then is going to get cashed in on by Naomi. I think Jade wins to get cashed in on by Naomi at SummerSlam from this retention by Tiffany here.
I'm stuck with this. Yes, it should be easy, but at the same time, you're not just gonna have Tiffany drop it to Trish just for Trish to probably just relinquish it the next Friday or just retire with it. I don't know. But at the same time, for me, Trish Stratus and Jade Cargill sounds like an amazing match. That's for me. I would like to see that at SummerSlam. And I mean, I've said this for a lot of the things that I think is going to happen at SummerSlam, but first 2 night SummerSlam, you want something big. And I think that's a big women's match right there. Trish Stratus and Jade Cargill, I'm stuck, but I'm going to go Trish.
Here's the thing. Bubba Ray Dudley in a video that Toxic has sent on TikTok. Snug, I will send it to you once we're finished with all of this, has basically said everything that Blood has been saying for months now. What has Tiffany done to make us care? What has she said to make us care? She has done and said literally nothing. I do not care about this match, but I'm with Blood on this one. I'm going Tiffany Stratton to win, face Jade Cargill, and what will end up being at SummerSlam a match where the ref will end up going through the entire thing with both of them and everything else. So I am going with Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton has to win this one. just Trish, she's good to just bring her for special occasions like this one. Evolution is a special occasion. People care about her, but they don't care about Trish enough to buy a ticket and go to see their match in person. Obviously, this Evolution is not doing very good in ticket sales, and it's no one's fault but their own because of the way that they're putting matches together. Like, shout out to my boy Luis, who's on the comment. He says, "Bring Trish back or Lita." And there's fans like the the casual fans that would love to see Trish, come back for one night, and they'll probably tune in for that one night. But that's about it. I mean, but how many people are actually like, yeah, I wanna see Trish actually win? I don't think anyone actually wants to see her win. I know I don't. So I definitely.
I mean, if we're being honest here, Snug, all the fans who clamored to see Trish because Trish inspired them are already the women in the WWE today that are active competitors. So all these casuals now under the age of fucking 25 to 20 years old don't know who the hell she is because her career ended before they were even fans. So if you're bringing her back, she's for the people that are my age, your age, and up to like 50 years old. And by the way, Trisha's career in the WWE wasn't even that long. She just got a lot done while she was in it. But let's be honest, it's great to have her back in appearances. The reason that the Evolution show's ticket sales are not doing well is not only because of how all this shit got thrown together last minute, and it's not Liv Morgan's fault. That injury sucks because they did have actual stories going into this almost a month ago, but it's because they decided to overload the weekend. There's too many fucking things. They're running 2 shows in that same arena back-to-back days. What are you expecting? You're running Saturday night's main event there the night before, and then you're running Evolution the next day. You're oversaturating your market. Plus, you're also trying to counter program AEW. You're making a mistake.
Not to mention, you've got NXT's Great American Bash also on Saturday as well.
Not surprised that they're kind of struggling with the attendance and whatnot, but
I'll tell you what, last thing, I'm very curious to see what Evolution looks like on TV Sunday. How are you going to hide an arena with that little of people in attendance? That's what I'm curious about.
with JC Jane, I mean, I peek in NXT every now and then, and I recognize a lot of the girls, the main girls, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Blake Monroe, obviously. But I've never heard of JC Jane ever, and I've seen her on TNA a couple times. But I'm interested in this match because of Jordan Grace. Like, I don't need to watch NXT to know the build up, to be interested in a Jordan Grace match, because just a few times that I've seen her at the Rumble and those main WWE appearances, she's a freaking beast. So I'm going Jordan Grace with this one, you guys. What do you guys think is going to come out of this one?
I will say I know very little about their rivalry because I also only get my news of NXT from clips on TikTok and Wrestle Talks, recaps and everything of the shows, because I just don't watch NXT. I got rid of cable forever ago, so I don't watch it. But as far as it's considered, I do care about the talent there, and I do care about what's going on. So I try to keep up to date with the stars of tomorrow. I've been aware of JC Jane for several years now. And partially, I was actually introduced to JC Jane as a character through the WWE 2K game series. That was the first time I even saw who she was, when I was scrolling through the exhibition menu to pick a character and came across her name when I was looking for Jey Uso. So as far as it's considered, I do know that I've seen her wrestle about 3 or 4 times. I do know that she's talented. I do know that she has a very good energy to her, good charisma. And I know that she took the title. And I know that Jordan Grace is apparently, I guess at one point was a friend, now an adversary. So, but I will say again, we've seen more of Jordan Grace. We know that Jordan Grace is a TNA darling, as she should be. She's insane and insanely talented. And from everything we've seen her do, when those like 1 or 2 matches she had on the main roster before they sent her to NXT and her Royal Rumble appearances, I know that woman is an absolute animal in the best way. So I'm going to go Jordan Grace here as well because she's made a fan out of me.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one on this panel that actually watches NXT every week. Or, okay, Tommy does too. Sorry. Okay, Tommy, shut up. But I'm not really interested in this rivalry right now. It's just the classic, oh, I'm the egotistical heel. I'm better than you. And I'm the women's division on the main roster and in NXT. So just to stop hearing JC Jane, I want Jordan Grace to take the title from her. And I feel bad for both of these women because they're running double duty. At Great American Bash, they're having a tag match with it's Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fallon Henley and JC Jane, and then their match at Evolution. So, yeah, they're probably going to be sluggish a little bit if they can not do as much and have their partners do a lot. I think that this match is going to be a little bit lackluster.
All right, time for me to be the outlier here. I do watch NXT. I watch it next day on the app itself. And I will say this. JC Jane has been told to her face that she is a, quote, the easiest champion to beat. You want to prove that she's not? Have her beat Jordan. So I myself here am going JC Jane for that reason. If you want to show that she is not a super easy champion to beat, have her beat Jordan Grace for it.
Damn, that's wild, but no, you're right. It could get interesting. This match is, if Jordan Grace wins the NXT Women's Championship, that would be a great look for her. But then that also means she's going to stay on NXT longer, which I would much rather see Jordan Grace get called up sooner than later. But either way, this match I'm actually really looking forward to. And then we go to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. This fucking card should have been the Night of Champions card. Look, we already got like 4 titles being defended so far. We got Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. See, you guys put a lot of pressure on me. I got it right last time, and now I can't get it right.
RIA.
Valkyria. All right.
Good. You literally said it correctly before we went live. You did exactly what I said you would. You would say it correctly before we went live, but as soon as we went live, you were going to say it wrong. You said exactly what I said you would do.
He gets nervous.
You guys made it weird. All right, y'all. Becky is the current Intercontinental Champion. She defeated Lyra, after it was like a couple matches that Lyra and Becky had. And this all goes back to WrestleMania when Becky turned on Lyra. They were supposed to be a tag team partner. They tag team at WrestleMania. Bayley was supposed to be Lyra's tag team partner. That didn't happen. Becky takes out Bayley, and all these 3 women have all been like in their freaking nerves and their business. But this one's hard to call, you guys. I hope it's Bayley to win this one. So I'm gonna go with my neighbor, she's from San Jose, right up the road here. So I'm gonna have to go with Bailey to win this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bailey for the simple fact of she fucking deserves it. Okay. Aside from the fact that she has yet to get a chance with the Women's United States Championship, she was already a Grand Slam champion before they created these two mid-card women's belts. So as far as I'm concerned, again, if you want those titles to mean something, and let's not forget the IC titles for the men's and women's respectively, those are the workhorse titles. You can't think of a workhorse in professional wrestling and WWE today and go down a list of who they are and leave Bailey off of it. You just can't do it. She's a workhorse. The woman is straight Hall of Famer as far as I'm concerned. She's a current working Hall of Famer right now, as far as I'm concerned. So put it on Bailey, because first off, her and Becky alone feuding over it puts a much larger spotlight on the women's mid-card division. And I think that's important. You have two main event talents in the mid-card vying for that mid-card championship. That's only good for the division. And people are such big fans of both of those women, it forces them to pay attention because they can pick up that slack that Lyra does not have enough, let's say, tenureship to create and pick up herself. But it still puts a good shine on Lyra, who can still get in that character work, still prove that she can go in the ring, still have these dynamics with these two other women. And it's only going to build her character up the way she should have been getting built up the last fucking year. So I think Bailey. I think that title needs Bailey.
I'm with Blood and Snug. I'm going Bailey. One, because everything Blood just said. Agree with all of it. And two, it's a hard match to call. I don't really know, so I'm gonna go with my gut and say who I like more in this match, which that's being Bailey. So yeah, I'm confused why we didn't get this match a few weeks after Bailey returned, but that's kind of stupid. I'm just now realizing that. But anyways, I'm glad we're getting this finally.
All right. If we're going by gut, because I do agree this is going to be the hardest one to call, or one of the hardest, I'm going Becky. My gut says Becky, because of the massive reason that for the majority of this match, all she'll need to do is sit back and watch as the other two focus too much on each other instead of going after Becky. These two, Lyra and Bailey, have been fighting for weeks now. Ever since Lyra costed Bailey that title. I think those two are going to be so focused on each other that all Becky will need to do is pick up the scraps.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're trying this match compared to Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. This match with Becky, Bailey, and Lyra, we can't say that it hasn't been built up. We can't say that there's no story, there's no history here. Like, they all have been involved in, with each other since even before WrestleMania. And even Lyra and Bailey got some beef there. Even though they're supposed to be the baby faces, they got tension too. So anything can happen in this match. I mean, this one is hard to call because it could be Lyra can snap and she can go off on Bailey and win it, or Bailey can come out on top, or you can't count out Becky Lynch either. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. The next match, we're gonna go for the Women's Tag Team Championships, and this match, actually, it feels like this one got put together very last minute because of Liv Morgan's unfortunate injury. And now we got Roxanne Perez stepping in the place of Liv Morgan. Roxanne's going to be teaming up with Raquel Rodriguez as a champion. And it's going to be a fatal 4-way tag team match. The teams are pretty insane for this match. I got to admit that. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, very uncommon duo. They've been, they've been trying to get them together on SmackDown, and they finally hit it. They said, we're going to do it at Evolution. A great tag team, in my opinion. The Kabuki Warriors, Kabuki. They just got back together, but I mean, it's Asuka. She just came back not that long ago from her injury. And Zarya and Sol Ruka. Fucking crazy, you guys. We're getting a little bit of everything here. Like, we got Raquel's a powerhouse. Roxanne is the prodigy. We got two veterans, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. We got two great wrestlers in, Kairi Sane and Asuka, and the young up-and-coming Zarya, and the fucking crazy athletic beast that Sol Ruka is. We got a little bit of everything here, you guys. And I'm not really a big fan of these multi-person matches, but I'm really interested to see who wins this one. And I think it's going to be Charlotte and Alexa. But what do you guys think?
So for me personally, because this is for the women's tag titles, really quick, I would like to say to that previous point about the triple threat, because I'd raised my hand, but we had to move on. I will say that I think that is the only match of this entire show that actually has story built into it, that actually has any story actually built. That's the only one. That being said, this is actually my most anticipated, most favorite match of this show. This is the one I am looking the most forward to. You guys know me. I am a massive Charlotte Flair fan. She is my favorite women's professional wrestler of all time. You also know my most favorite up-and-coming women's wrestler of today's era is Sol Ruka. I've had my eyes on Sol Ruka for a long time, and I have said on this podcast, I am extremely excited and have been fantasy booking Sol Ruka in the same ring as Charlotte Flair. And now we're actually getting it in the craziest way, where they've just thrown it into a match because they had to re-fucking do the show. So I want them one-on-one in a match at one point. Because to me, when I look at Sol Ruka, she's the spiritual successor to Charlotte. There's something about her that feels so 2013, 2014 Charlotte coded. So I'm extremely excited. I hope we're going to get a face-off moment where these two are one-on-one in the ring and they just stare each other down and just soak in the moment. And I hope the fans do the holy shit or the cheer thing, because I want those two to have a stare-down moment that the crowd erupts for, because I hope the crowd sees and feels what I feel when I think about that. But you're right, Snug. You've got everything in this match. You literally have high flyers, technicians, brawlers, you name it. It's in this match. And I'm extremely excited for what to come. I think this match has the potential to be the match of the night. I think it has the potential to be the show stealer of the weekend, to be 100% honest with you. Look at everybody who's involved in it. This is the most talent you could ask for packed into one fucking match. And it's so many styles. So I think, however, all the excitement said, I think Roxanne and Raquel retain, because you're trying to tell the story of how the Judgment Day is doing better without Liv there. That as soon as Liv's gone, the titles are still good for the girls. Dom still has the Intercontinental Championship. JD and Finn win the tag titles. And everything is just hitting on all points for the Judgment Day. You have to continue that story. So something tells me those two retain, because it's going to continue to build the trust between Raquel and Roxanne. So when Liv comes back, she feels betrayed. So retention is my prediction.
I'm also really excited for this because the amount of talent that's in here, and just anything can happen, just like in the Battle Royal, which we'll get to later. Anything can happen. a stare down I hope that happens is the two powerhouses being Zarya and Raquel. That would be a holy shit moment to me. Just I'm not even gonna get into it more, but just I I don't think Roxanne and Raquel are retaining, and I don't think Charlotte and Alexa are grabbing the titles. So I think it's either the reunited Kabuki Warriors because they they just reunited. Why not just have them have the titles at least one more time? Or the newcomers and already the double champ, Zarya and Sol Ruka. Hell, why not have Sol Ruka a triple champ? I'm I don't think retention is happening in this match.
I do. I am going for Raquel to retain. I'm going for the Judgment Day to retain their tag titles. Here's why. I am with Blood on this, where I feel like, one, you have to run that story and continue it. And two, when Liv gets back, especially knowing the fact that it was Finn Balor's idea to put Roxanne Perez in her place, that's only going to cause more and more cracks that we've already seen grow bigger. So I'm going for a retention.
Dope, right on. Let's move on here. We got the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal, the winner gets a match at WWE Clash in Paris. But before we get into that, since we're doing pretty good on time, we have a sidebar question here from the homie Luis, bruh. If the group doesn't mind, can I ask who's your favorite wrestlers of all time, past and then present? So, who's yours, Mr. Blood, really quick, if you don't mind?
If he's asking like individual, like you only get one then and one now, for the sake of time, my favorite wrestler in the past, probably Jeff Hardy, because he was the main reason that I stuck with wrestling after The Rock, got into pro or backyard wrestling myself, and became a heavy punk and rock fan in my youth. My favorite wrestler of today, you know what? My favorite wrestler today is basically the same, is also a throwback. It's CM Punk. He is my goat. So past and present, man's my goat.
Past, it's got to be the rated R superstar Edge, and present, 4 letters, 1 word, yeet.
Past for me, even though he's currently running, he is on his farewell tour. The past is John Cena. I have to do that because he's one of those that you look at him and you just can't take him out. But when it comes to current, I'm going with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Taker for the past and then present. It's kind of hard to choose, man. The present, so I have a lot, man. You know, it's hard for me to pick between Cody, Gunther, and Dom. So, thanks for your question, Luis. Luis says,
Really? Solo's not on that list, huh?
I mean, Solo, he's the greatest, but yeah. He says, let's go. Me too, Mr. Blood. Jeff Hardy gang, he says. Huge Jeff Hardy fans over here. Toxic, if you will, what's going on with this Battle Royale? Do we have the names? Do we know what's going to happen here? Help me out.
Okay, so like you said, the winner of this gets a championship match at Clash in Paris. I'm pretty sure if an NXT person wins, they can go for a main roster title. I'm pretty sure, and they just won't go for an NXT title. But this past or this Monday on Raw, we had 3 announced people in the Battle Royal, that being Stephanie Vaquer, Ivy Nile, and Nikki Bella. And then the Raw side of things that was announced last night on NXT, where I can't believe they're calling them this, but the Dungeon Dolls, Natalia and Maxine Dupree. Yeah, it's weird. NXT, we have Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, Izzy Dame, and Tatum Paxley. For the SmackDown of things, or SmackDown side of things, holy shit. SmackDown side of things, we have Zelina Vega, Julia, and Candice LeRae. I would like to throw in a few prediction entrants, I think. AJ Lee, we have gotten a lot of AJ stuff by WWE recently. Paige, she's free from AEW. And then, just for why not, I would like to see Lita. So, yeah.
Nice. Right on, Toxic. Thank you for that. Just those names that were mentioned. Yeah, I hope to see those returns, man. AJ Lee, they've been posting her like crazy. WWE has been posting her like crazy. Paige, she's been kind of under the radar, which kind of leads me to believe that's a possibility. But the only name that really stood out to me about that was Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer. My bad. So I'm going to go with Stephanie to win this Battle Royal, and for her to get a title shot, I think that would be really cool.
I'm going to go ahead and give 2 here. One that I do actually think is the possible winner, and the other is a hopeful winner if it happens. So my legitimate prediction is I do also think it's Stephanie. She makes the most sense. She's, out of all those girls that they just named, she's had the most fanfare and the most kind of push behind her on the main roster. They've been spotlighting the hell out of her on Raw, even though I feel like we haven't seen her on Raw in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks almost now. But at the same time, she's had one hell of a showing. She makes the most sense for a title opportunity because she keeps proving how damn good she is, and the crowd is behind her. If I could have my second selfish, I wish it could happen pick is honestly going to be a cross between AJ Lee and Paige. If they return and they won, I would be over the moon for it, because those 2 girls are my GOAT favorites for the women's division.
I also do have I wish, but the one I think is happening is Stephanie, for a lot of reasons. One is because she had a hell of a run in NXT, being the first NXT woman superstar to hold the NXT Championship and North American Championship. So I mean, she proved that she can go with a title. So I would like to see her get a title. And also just, I wish, Lola Vice. I feel like it's about time for her to come up. She's amazing in NXT. I love her in NXT, but I just want to see her on the main brands, like being in the main roster, going against people on the main roster, not just teaming with them like she did at Worlds Collide with Stephanie Vaquer, but I just want to see Lola on the main roster.
We are all in agreement here. Stephanie Vaquer makes the most sense here. And I will absolutely agree that I wish, please, Triple H, we have been begging you for both of these girls to come back. AJ and Paige, please. If there's any spot that is perfect for them to come back, it's Evolution. Please bring these 2 ladies back. But yeah, I completely agree that it has to be Stephanie Vaquer.
Shout out to Nicholas Little 789 says Goldberg wins the women's tag team titles. I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, you guys, a final match here. It's a no holds barred match. Now, mind you, I don't know. We're doing these in random order. We don't know what the opening match is or if this is going to be the final match. I don't know. The final match on our list here for this prediction episode, no holds barred match, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Again, another match that has been going crazy with the build-up since I think since Jade Cargill came into the WWE, which has been months ago. And, long time friends, well, I shouldn't say long, up until Jade came to the WWE. She was friends with Naomi. Naomi turned heel, attacked Jade Cargill, put her out of commission for the time being, took her out of action. Now Naomi is a Money in the Bank briefcase winner. Jade Cargill has a shot at the Women's Championship for Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. And these two are going to go face-to-face at Evolution. No DQ match. I think it makes more sense for Jade Cargill to win this one, doesn't it?
I'll tell you what makes the most sense for this match. That it doesn't take place at all. Okay? Tell me why we have every match we need on this fucking card except for the Women's United States Championship.
Because Julia's in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, why does Julia need to be in the Battle Royal when Jade or fucking Naomi could have been in there? So as far as it's concerned, why is this match here? You could have... how are you going to take the title off of Zelina when she's barely defending it to then put it on Julia, who is yet to defend it? And when the first pay-per-view she has to showcase it on an all-women's pay-per-view, she isn't defending it. So as far as I'm concerned, this match is fucking stupid. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a prediction. My prediction is that this match sucks. My prediction is that the winner doesn't matter. Because Jade already has her title shot. Doesn't matter if she wins or loses here. She's still going to SummerSlam. It doesn't matter who she's versing at SummerSlam. She's still going to SummerSlam. And it doesn't matter that fucking Naomi's in this match. Because no matter if she loses, she still has the Money in the Bank briefcase to screw over and cash in on whoever is at SummerSlam. This match is filled with two people who basically are guaranteed fucking winners and or contenders at a future date in August. This match is pointless. Purely pointless. You know what would have been a great spot here? I don't know, maybe Julia versus, let's say, Bianca Belair. Maybe something like that. Maybe a rematch. Something like that. Maybe Zelina versus Julia. I know no one wants to see Zelina as the champion, but at least a rematch could have been made. Could have seen that. Don't need this. Don't need this at all. And we already saw fucking Jade versus Naomi, a non-title fucking match. So why the fuck are we doing it again? No one gave a shit the first time. Do fucking better, WWE. What the fuck?
Yeah, I do have a prediction, but everything Blood said is true. I don't really think that this should be on here other than to finish the goddamn story that no one wants to see. No one wants to see this story anymore. It's way, in my opinion, this should have ended at at WrestleMania. That's where this story should have ended. But I have Naomi mainly because Jade won their first one. I think Naomi should win their second one, and then at SummerSlam, she cashes in the match, and then takes the title, and then wins their technically third one. So I have Naomi.
I'm also going Naomi for this reason. It is a no disqualification match, which means Naomi can use that briefcase as a weapon all she wants. I am going Naomi here. It makes the most sense. I am with Blood with the fact that this match shouldn't be happening at all. Honestly. Because he's right on every angle that he just said. But if I had to choose between the two, I am going Naomi.
My only prediction here that I'll give, I think Bianca Belair interferes at some point. That's about it.
That's literally what I was just about to say. Like, no, you bring up a lot of good points, Mr. Blood. Like, why? Why do we have to have this match on this Evolution? And I think that's why. I think this is to set up Bianca to come back and finally decide whose side are you on, because we still don't know. Bianca has just been in the middle of this feud between Jade and Naomi. You know, the last time we saw Bianca, it was like, hey, bitch, you broke into my house. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then Naomi cried, and then that was it. But is Bianca mad at Jade, or is Bianca mad at Naomi?
I think Bianca's going to turn heel on Jade so they can finally set us up for Jade versus fucking Bianca. Yeah.
Or you could pull Luca Crisafino, I think that's his name, on NXT last week. Stags turned on Tony at Stand and Deliver, which was basically NXT's WrestleMania. But Luca said he punched Stags and then he punched Tony, saying, my loyalty belongs to myself. So you could basically do that with Bianca, but I don't see that happening.
You're saying Bianca turns on both of them either way. Okay, I mean, that's one way to go. I think Bianca needs a freshened up character anyway. I think if this match has any importance, it should be to give Bianca something new to do with her character, because I think we can all agree Bianca has been very stale for a very long time, and she has been incredibly fucking aggravating for a very long time. She was basically a heel in the freaking triple threat story leading into Mania. She was a bitch for months, and she was getting booed. So at this point, turn her heel. Let's see what heel Bianca looks like on the main roster, because we ain't seen it since NXT. Let's get some fresh character motivation here.
Yeah, Bianca was definitely getting booed. Then she gets injured at WrestleMania. She's gone for a while. She comes back in her hometown like, hey, I'm here. Celebrate me. But yeah, I mean, I got to be honest, you guys. I'm actually I'm really looking forward to this Evolution. I want to see what happens. I'm going to be there, not in person, but I'm going to be there watching the action up and close. So those were our predictions for Snug Wrestling. Mr. Blood, if you please, can take us home.
Time.
Yes, sir. And also, I'm peeping that Shinsuke Nakamura shirt. Just realized you're wearing it. But as far as it's concerned, thank you guys for joining us here for the predictions for Evolution 2. I cannot believe it took us at this point, fucking what, 7 years to get here. As far as it's concerned, you guys can catch us every Monday night and Friday night on Apple and Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown reviews directly after the shows go off the air. And if you like reaction content, if you like to feel what it's like during the show, what other people in their homes are feeling like, you can also in real time watch and check out our channels on Instagram and on TikTok for Snug, our fearless leader here, his live reactions during the actual shows. He posts clips moments after the segments end, and you can see how he reacted and what his in real time thoughts were. Then you can catch me and Snug every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for TikTok Live one-on-ones, where tomorrow night we are having the topic discussion of AJ Styles' last contract and what those matches we'd like to see on his last run should and would be if we could book it. So join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And guys, thank you so much. Remember to stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And with that, I'd like to say 4 letters, 1 word.